At its core, Crossroads is about rediscovery of love, of trust, and of the ability to embrace emotions when friendship collides with desire. The novel follows Nick, a man whose life has always been defined by discipline, ambition, and the refusal to show weakness. Nick thrives on control, but beneath his confident exterior lies vulnerability and longing. His world is shaken when he encounters someone who challenges everything he thought he knew about himself. Enter Bryce, fiery, stubborn, and determined to live authentically. Bryce is bold, unafraid to speak his mind, and thrives on risk. Unlike Nick, he has no interest in hiding who he is. But when their paths collide in the charged atmosphere of friendship, family tension, and forbidden attraction, sparks fly. Not just emotional ones, but the kind that ignite transformation. Their relationship begins with tension, fueled by Nick's reluctance to risk exposure and Bryce's determination to break through his walls. Nick is drawn to Bryce's energy, while Bryce is captivated by Nick's quiet strength. What begins as friendship slowly transforms into trust, intimacy, and passion. As their bond deepens, Nick struggles with fear of rejection, fear of scandal, fear of losing himself in the shadow of vulnerability. Bryce, despite his own insecurities, pushes Nick to embrace authenticity. Their chemistry is undeniable, making every interaction charged with vulnerability and desire. Riley Hart's writing is sharp, emotional, and deeply engaging. She blends humor with heartbreak, creating a romance that feels both entertaining and transformative. The chemistry between Nick and Bryce is electric, making their connection feel authentic and satisfying. Thematically, Crossroads explores friends to lovers trope, the tension between loyalty and intimacy, identity and vulnerability. Nick's journey reflects the courage required to embrace intimacy despite fear, love and risk. Bryce's arc underscores the beauty of risking vulnerability in unconventional circumstances. Community and belonging. The novel emphasizes the richness of connection and the resilience of love in the face of challenges. The climax is both emotional and triumphant, as Nick must decide whether his connection with Bryce is worth the risk of vulnerability and rejection. The resolution affirms the novel's central message, that sometimes the fiercest battles lead to the most authentic love stories, even when they begin in the shadow of fear. By the end, Crossroads is more than a romance. It is a meditation on courage, authenticity, and the beauty of finding someone who sees you for who you truly are. It expands Riley Hart's body of work with passion, grit, and emotional resonance, leaving listeners deeply moved.